Please let me know, because I don't want to... Everyone's heard of it? Okay. Well, let me give you... All right, some of you haven't. Thank you. So, here's how I want to set this up for you, because it's really important to understand what we're looking at. When we talk about playing with horses and getting good with horses, what we need to do is become really good at reading horses. And a lot of people don't read horses at the level we need to read them at, which is when you're into psychology. So we might go, oh yeah, he's got his ears back, or he's lifting his leg, he's going to kick me, or he's swishing his tail, and it's pretty obvious body language. But what I want to show you is how to read horses at a whole different level and understand how each horse has its own individual personality. I remember years ago in 1989 when I first started to study with Pat, somebody said about their horse, oh, my horse has got this like really special personality. And Pat said, oh, horses don't have personalities. People have personalities. Horses have personalities. And I remember thinking, wow, that's really interesting. And then I studied with him for years. I was watching him with different horses. And he never did exactly the same thing in exactly the same way. And I started to see a pattern, and I'm trying to second guess it and go, oh, this horse is acting like that. I bet he does such and such. And I was pretty right most of the time, but sometimes I didn't get it right. And I had the opportunity to then ask Pat, you know, why did you do this with this horse, but you did that with that horse? And he said, because that's what that horse needed. So I thought, that's helpful. How do I know if that's what that horse needs? How do I know when to speed up, when to slow down? How do I know when the horse needs more confidence or when he needs a little bit more discipline? So, over the years, I finally worked it out, and it was based on a model I learned in the 80s. It was a human model, but it was a system of opposites. And it was very, very interesting because I suddenly could see how to adapt that to horses and make it easy for all of us to be able to read horses. Almost as good as Pat, if not as well as Pat sometimes. So here's how it goes, and it's to make it really simple. So how many of you have heard that in personality typing, like Myers-Briggs or something like that, they have extroverts and introverts? Anybody heard that? Okay, how many of you have been told or you know that you're an introvert? Usually introverts hate this, it's like, oh, thanks a lot for drawing attention to me, okay? Now, how many of you have heard or know that you're an extrovert? Woo! Wow! You're very quiet extroverts in Texas. You should have heard them in Kansas. But normally, you really hear that difference. Like, introverts are like, that's me. And extroverts are like, woo! I'm an extrovert. There's one. There's another. Now we're waking them up. So, it's very obvious to see that in people. People that are more introverted tend to have small body language. You know, they're not very expressive with their arms or in movement. And they also tend not to speak very loudly. Well, extroverts are the opposite, aren't they? They're moving all over the place, they're in your face, they're in your space, they're loud, and they're full of energy. So extroverts and introverts often have trouble with each other. So extroverts can feel very intimidating to introverts. You know, an extrovert approaches an introvert like, hi, how are you? You know, like this. And introverts are like, oh my God, that's really overbearing.
That's me.
I wish they'd be a little less loud. Do you know what I'm talking about? And then what about introverts and approaching extroverts or in a conversation? Extroverts just want to shake them. It's like, are you even alive in there? Speak to me. Give me some movement. Answer me. Right? So you can see that difference. The same thing happens with horses. We have introverted horses and extroverted horses. And they don't really get on that well. Introverted horses usually want to hang out with their same kind, just like people do. And vice versa, extroverts tend to want to be around more extroverted horses. So how do you tell? Like in people, it's fairly easy to tell, just by how much they talk, let's say. Because extroverts tend to talk a lot, they talk pretty fast. Introverts don't talk so much, they think a lot. In horses, it's not so much what they're doing with their mouth and sounds, it's about moving their feet. And you're going to see this in a minute when I bring in some horses. So introverted horses tend not to move their feet very much, but extroverted horses do. Then there's two other categories I want you to think about, and that's right brain and left brain. And right brain in this context means that the horse is more fearful and unconfident and insecure. And then left brain means the horse is kind of cocky and self-confident and even a little bit pushy. Anybody got a left-brained horse? Right? Anybody got a right-brained horse? Kind of insecure, like the one we saw with the little girl earlier. That's more of a right-brained horse. Kind of insecure and unsure, right? A little bit fearful. So, we have 4 distinct types of personalities now, which starts with our base. And then things that modify that are spirit level. And then some kind of situational behaviors. It could be like past baggage or how they are as a learner. There's some little individual things that then can build up the whole individual profile, of course. But the first 4 things I want you to know about is that there's 2 kinds of extroverts and 2 kinds of introverts. There's a right and a left brain extrovert, and there's a right and a left brain introvert. So, the right brain extrovert tends to be a fearful horse that wants to move its feet. Who's got one of those? Like, runs off a lot, hard to stand still, that kind of thing. Left brain extrovert is cocky, dominant, pushy, and they tend to be very playful, which usually when you don't want them to be playful, we call naughty. Right? So, who's got a naughty horse? Alright. Now let's look at the introverts. A right-brain introvert tends to be like a little shrinking violet. They try to be really invisible, they're very quiet, they don't move very much, and they're fearful because they're right-brain. But instead of running away on the outside like the extrovert does, they run away on the inside. So they tend to freeze, and a lot of people call these horses unpredictable because the horse looks really quiet, and then all of a sudden, for no reason at all, apparently, the horse blows a cork. Well, when you learn how to read horses, you'll see that they are predictably unpredictable because you'll be able to read the subtleties of what's going on when a horse runs away on the inside. Then finally, there's the left-brain introvert. And the left-brain introvert is cocky, dominant, pushy, and doesn't want to move his feet. But it's like, I won't move my feet. Whereas the right-brain introvert is, I can move my feet. I'm kind of frozen in fear. But I won't is like, and you're not going to make me. Anybody seen a left-brain introvert that is so sure that he's going to get his way, he lays down? Anybody seen that? Now try and move me. Right?
Yep, I've seen some of them.
What I want you to see when you play with all these horses now is first of all to see the difference and then how it uses psychology. Because that crazy right-brain extrovert needs to find calmness and safety. That naughty, playful left-brain extrovert needs to be entertained so that he wants to hang around with you instead of taking sand skiing somewhere. The right-brain introvert needs to feel safe and be able to trust you and not have things come at them so fast. And the left-brain introvert needs you to be able to motivate them and get into that mind. So I think you're going to enjoy this session. You ready?